Getting into the Tesla Model Y Juniper 2025 promises to be a completely revamped experience, almost like stepping into a futuristic living room on wheels. Everything points to Tesla taking interior design to a level that blends cutting-edge technology with a touch of luxury. Rumors suggest premium materials like perforated leather, the kind that seems to breathe, and Alcantara, adding a sophisticated feel to the touch. And there's more. Traditional wood finishes may be left behind, replaced by something more modern, better fitting the minimalist and tech-savvy look that has become Tesla's signature. Now think about the ambient lighting. You've probably seen cars with soft lights on the dashboard or doors, but the Juniper wants to take it to the next level. The idea is RGB lighting, meaning you can personalize any color you want, maybe even matching it with the mood of the day or your personal vibe. Imagine driving at night with a calm blue hue or picking a vibrant red to give the car a more energetic feel. This lighting isn't just for looks. It helps create a cozy atmosphere, almost like you're at home, but on the road. Another interesting detail is how the design seems to be moving towards a more integrated concept. By eliminating wood, Tesla might be planning smoother, continuous surfaces with fewer visual divisions. This creates a sense of more space inside the car, even for something as spacious as the Model Y. And with materials like Alcantara, it's easy to imagine that the textures inside won't just look good. They'll also offer functionality, combining durability with that luxurious touch. But it doesn't stop there. The seats, with perforated leather, should come with ventilation, which is perfect for those hot days or long trips. It's like the car is always thinking about keeping you comfortable, no matter the weather. And with Tesla, you can bet the ergonomics will be spot on, with everything positioned exactly where it should be, from armrests to the control panel, ensuring that every button and screen is right at your fingertips with no effort at all. Think about the multimedia center, which is already a showstopper. With such a sophisticated interior, it's clear that the giant screen will continue to be the focal point. But who knows? It could come with even more features or new animations to interact with the ambient lighting. It's as if the car becomes an extension of your personality. And if they really push for touch controls to adjust these lights or change seat settings, it will feel like you're controlling a futuristic device, not just a car. Speaking of details, it's impossible not to imagine how the panoramic roof will complement the entire interior design. The glass that stretches from one end of the car to the other lets in natural light during the day. And at night, combined with the internal lighting, it should create an amazing visual contrast. It's a way to connect the car's interior with the outside environment while maintaining the feeling of being in an exclusive and comfortable space. Another thing that catches attention is the color palette Tesla might explore for the interior finishes. With the advancement of customization, it may be possible to choose unique combinations, stepping away from the basic black and white. Imagine an interior in earthy tones or something bolder, like deep blue or sophisticated gray. It's the kind of detail that makes the car feel one of a kind, as if it were made just for you. The Tesla Model Y Juniper 2025 promises to deliver with its innovative features. One of the highlights that has everyone curious is the rotating infotainment screen. You know that giant screen on the dashboard that's already a Tesla trademark? Now it can spin, adjusting to any angle you want. Driving and want everything facing you? No problem. Stop for a meal and want to watch a movie with the screen tilted toward you? Just adjust it. It seems like a simple thing, but it completely changes the in-car experience. And it's not just the driver who will enjoy these features. Passengers in the back might get an exclusive 8-inch screen. Imagine the kids watching cartoons or playing games while you drive. It's the kind of feature that turns long trips into more relaxing moments for everyone. And for those who think rear screens are only for luxury cars, Tesla is proving that they can bring this to an SUV that's much more affordable. All of this shows how the Juniper is designed to please the whole family, not just the driver. Now, let's talk comfort. The ventilated seats are set to be a major selling point. Ever had that moment in summer when the seat feels like an oven? With this ventilation system, you can say goodbye to that discomfort. The system should be efficient enough to keep the seats cool even on the hottest days. And for those living in warmer climates, this is a real luxury. Plus, the ventilation also helps reduce sweating during long trips, making the ride even more pleasant. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear about the premium audio system. We're talking about a setup with 17 speakers and 2 subwoofers. That means crystal clear sound and powerful bass. Perfect for anyone who loves listening to music while driving. Whether it's a relaxing podcast or an upbeat playlist, the sound will feel like it's coming from a live concert. It's the kind of quality that lets you hear every note, every detail. What's amazing is how these features work together to create an immersive environment. Imagine combining high-quality sound with a rotating screen and the comfort of ventilated seats. Suddenly, an ordinary trip turns into a cinematic experience. Tesla is really placing entertainment at the center of the driving experience, but without losing sight of functionality. Everything seems to be there not just to impress, but to improve the lives of those in the car. Another interesting point is how these features make the Juniper a great choice for those who spend a lot of time in traffic. Nowadays, many people use their cars almost like a second office or a space to relax between appointments. With all these innovations, the Model Y 2025 is not just a car, it's a multifunctional space. You can work, watch a movie, or simply relax while the car does all the heavy lifting. The coolest part is that these advancements also show how Tesla is really listening to consumers. Features like the rear screen and ventilated seats aren't just luxury details. They solve real problems that drivers and passengers face every day. This practical approach, combined with cutting-edge technology, is what makes the Juniper stand out among other electric SUVs. When it comes to futuristic steering wheels, the first image that comes to mind is Tesla's yoke. And it seems the Model Y Juniper is jumping on this trend, bringing a design that blends innovation and boldness. Unlike the traditional steering wheel, the yoke has a shape more similar to airplane controls, removing the top part. This isn't just about style. It allows for a broader view of the dashboard and the environment ahead, giving that feeling of driving something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Now, imagine driving an SUV with this wheel. It's going to be a very different experience from what we're used to. But it doesn't stop at the design, because the Juniper's yoke isn't alone. It's expected to be paired with a drive-by-wire steering system, one of those terms that sounds technical but is quite simple in practice. Basically, the system doesn't rely on traditional mechanical connections like cables and gears to turn the wheels. Instead, it uses electronic signals to execute the driver's commands. This means less vibration in the steering wheel, more precise responses, and of course, that feeling of controlling something incredibly modern. The idea behind drive-by-wire is to make everything smoother and more dynamic, as if the car understands exactly what you want to do. Imagine entering a curve and feeling the wheel respond instantly, without any delay. Or even parking in a tight spot with movements that seem like they were made by a pro. It's the kind of thing that makes driving feel more intuitive, almost as if the car is anticipating your movements. For those who love feeling in complete control, this system is a true leap forward. Now, of course, there's always that question. Will the yoke be loved by everyone? Because let's face it, it's very different from what we're used to. But Tesla seems confident that the design, combined with the more advanced steering system, will win over even the most skeptical. And honestly, it makes sense. The yoke isn't just an aesthetic whim. It was designed to work better with the car's technology. Plus, It fits perfectly with the spirit of innovation the Juniper is meant to embody. One thing I find fascinating is how drive-by-wire also opens doors for future updates. Since everything is electronically controlled, imagine the possibilities for fine-tuning the system, maybe even making it customizable. You could choose a firmer steering for highways or a lighter one for urban maneuvers. It's like the car could adapt to your mood or the driving conditions, and that's something very few automakers are truly exploring. And here's the impact it could have on the market as a whole. When Tesla bets on something like this, they're not just creating a differentiator for the Juniper. They're setting the standard for what other manufacturers will want to achieve. The yoke and drive-by-wire are more than just flashy accessories. They represent a shift in how we interact with vehicles. And the most interesting part is that, despite seeming super techy, the idea is to simplify, making driving easier and more enjoyable for everyone. The Juniper also promises to include additional assistance features that work in harmony with this system, like enhanced autopilot and automatic adjustments based on the route. Imagine the car recalibrating the steering automatically to handle rain or snow conditions better. All this while you feel the wheel adjusting every movement almost imperceptibly. It's that feeling of being in control, but with the help of an invisible co-pilot. Imagine stepping into a car and feeling like you're in a bubble of tranquility, isolated from all the noise of the outside world. That seems to be the experience the 2025 Tesla Model Y Juniper wants to offer with its improvements in noise reduction. It promises to use the same technology we've seen in the Model 3 Highland, like dual-layer acoustic glass. These windows aren't just sleek, but also incredibly effective at blocking external noises, like honking and the sound of cars passing by. And we're not talking about a small reduction, but up to 10 decibels. To give you an idea, that's like swapping the sound of a room full of people talking for the silence of a library. What's interesting is that this technology isn't just about reducing noise. It also creates a sense of luxury. After all, who doesn't love a calm, serene environment while driving? Imagine a long trip where you can listen to your favorite music on a crystal clear sound system, with no interference from outside noise. It seems Tesla is heavily investing in making their cars not just electric and innovative, but also an absolute comfort space. And considering the larger size of the Model Y compared to the Model 3, this acoustic tranquility could be even more noticeable. Another intriguing point is that this attention to silence goes beyond just changing the windows. Tesla is refining the entire acoustic insulation system, including improvements to door seals and the materials used inside the cabin. All of this is designed to reduce the impact of vibrations and unwanted sounds that often go unnoticed until you step into a quiet car. Have you ever thought about how even the tires could be adjusted to help with this silence? It's as if every detail is being carefully planned to create an almost zen experience. The most fascinating thing is that these advancements could transform how we perceive comfort in a car. Silence becomes a luxury, something once associated only with the most expensive and exclusive vehicles. With the Juniper, Tesla seems to want to democratize this feeling, bringing it to a vehicle that, although technological, is designed for a broader audience. This makes us imagine how it would impact urban trips, where the noise of the city often tires and irritates. A car like this could be a true refuge. Tesla really knows how to transform the concept of comfort into something beyond the obvious. In the Model Y Juniper, the promise to enhance noise, vibration, and harshness levels, NVH, represents a true leap in quality. It all starts with more advanced cabin materials, which are not only softer to the touch, but also serve as an effective barrier against external noise. You know that wind noise, or the sound of tires rolling on the asphalt that sometimes bothers you. The goal is for you to barely notice them, as if you were in a bubble of silence while driving. Acoustic insulation has also received special attention. For anyone who's been in a luxury car, you know how the outside noise seems to almost disappear, and that's exactly what Tesla wants to achieve with the Juniper. They're using a combination of high-density materials in the doors and panels, which not only block external noises, but also absorb internal vibrations. It's the kind of detail that makes all the difference, especially on long trips, where auditory comfort becomes just as important as seat comfort. The door seals are another area that has received a significant upgrade. It might seem like a small thing, but the way the doors close and how they isolate the interior from the outside is essential for creating that feeling of being in a completely separate environment from the world outside. With improved sealing, the sound of closing doors also has a more solid, satisfying clunk, which conveys quality. Plus, it helps keep the air conditioning more efficient, preventing drafts from entering. Speaking of thermal comfort, these improvements also help maintain a more stable internal temperature. This is especially important in extreme climates, whether on a very hot or very cold day. With less interference from the outside, the Juniper's climate control system can work more efficiently, ensuring everyone inside the car stays comfortable. It's like having a personal refuge where the temperature is always ideal, regardless of what's happening outside. The Model Y's cabin also benefits from the larger space compared to the Model 3 Highland. This means that, in addition to more silence, passengers have more space to move and relax. Combined with the new finishing materials and acoustic insulation, the interior begins to resemble a sophisticated lounge more than a traditional vehicle. It's the kind of experience that makes even short trips feel special. Another interesting point is that this focus on NVH isn't just for the comfort of the passengers. It also improves the perception of the vehicle's quality as a whole. A car that doesn't squeak, vibrate, or let irritating sounds pass through gives a sense of robustness and attention to detail. And that's something we often only notice when driving a vehicle that truly pays attention to these aspects. It seems simple, but it's a meticulous job that requires a lot of engineering and testing. Additionally, Tesla is also refining suspension technology to complement these acoustic improvements. A suspension that better absorbs road imperfections works in harmony with the noise insulation, creating a driving experience that feels smoother and more tranquil. Each impact is cushioned in such a way that you hardly feel the imperfections of the road. This is especially useful on poorly maintained highways, where every pothole could become a headache in other vehicles. Finally, these NVH improvements show that Tesla isn't just thinking about technological innovation, but also about the human experience. It's not just about driving an electric car. It's about transforming every journey into something more comfortable, pleasant, and special. You can tell how each detail was designed to raise the standard, from the material used on the doors to the sound you hear, or rather, don't hear. It's the kind of thing that redefines expectations of how a car should be. What Tesla is doing with the Model Y Juniper is practically a revolution in the concept of car interiors. The dashboard promises to be a minimalist masterpiece, a true symbol of the futuristic design they love to bring to their models. The idea of eliminating traditional levers is bold, but it makes perfect sense. Instead, everything will be integrated more intuitively and smoothly, as if the car were an extension of your movements. Imagine adjusting something like the windshield wipers or the turn signals without even thinking, just with controls perfectly positioned, almost like magic. This dashboard, besides being functional, will also be incredibly elegant. Tesla seems to be adopting an approach where less is more, but without sacrificing comfort. Soft touch materials should be everywhere, turning every interaction inside the car into something special. You know that pleasant feeling of touching something well-made, like a premium sofa or a top-of-the-line gadget. That's exactly what the Juniper wants to bring to anyone sitting in the driver's or passenger seat. Another detail that won't go unnoticed is the enhanced ambient lighting. This goes beyond just illuminating the car. It's about creating an atmosphere that adjusts to your mood. The customizable RGB color options aren't just a modern touch, but also a way for you to personalize the interior according to the vibe of the moment. On a quiet night, blue or purple tones can create a relaxing mood. For an energetic trip, more vibrant colors like orange or red can add that touch of energy. The trim profiles are also receiving special attention. Forget about the traditional wood panels or outdated textures we often see in many cars. Here, Tesla is taking a completely different approach with materials that feel more aligned with the future than the past. Something like brushed aluminum or carbon fiber-inspired textures could emerge, giving the interior a cleaner, more modern, and techy look without losing that sophisticated touch that's so appealing. And you can't talk about modernity without mentioning how the design is increasingly focused on functionality. It's the perfect union of form and function. Nothing is there just for aesthetics. Every detail has a purpose. The buttons and controls that remain are designed to be intuitive and easy to use. There's nothing worse than getting lost in a dashboard full of confusing controls, and Tesla seems to have completely eliminated that possibility in the Juniper. Another intriguing detail is how the layout of the dashboard is likely to enhance the sense of space inside the car. It's as if every line and every design choice works together to expand the cabin, making everything feel airier and more comfortable. This approach not only pleases the eyes, but also makes the time spent inside the car much more enjoyable. It's the kind of detail that only those who truly care about the end user will notice. And even though it's minimalist, the interior doesn't lack in functional richness. Everything you need is there, but in such an integrated way that it feels like the car understands you. For example, commands can be accessed with simple gestures or light touches, thanks to the enhanced touch-sensitive technology. It's the kind of experience that makes you feel in complete control without distractions or unnecessary complications. In the end, what you see here is a combination of comfort, technology, and a generous touch of style. The interior of the Juniper isn't just a place to sit and drive. It's a space designed to be lived in, whether it's a short trip to the market or a long journey down the road. It's like being in the future, but now with every detail designed to make you feel special with every kilometer.